Here for a live. Let's see if I can get this adjusted fairly decently. Maybe I'll bring this down. I want to have the CU logo in there so it looks all good. But man, some of my day ones, Lean German, Suave Al, what's going on? Bryant Richardson, new uniform reveal coming soon. That would be huge. Just before I popped on, I need to get my laptop open. It looks like we have a five-star visiting coming up soon here in June. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Y'all hit that like. Let's dive into this though. I want to get into a handful. I want to get into a handful of things about what is going to make Colorado such a special place for recruiting this year, but Charles Lester. I'm looking him up right now. He's a five-star athlete. And he just announced that he's going to be taking an official visit here June 9th through 11th. So that's some of the best time to be here. The summers here are absolutely amazing. Let's see. Green Creole, what's going on? Chosen One, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and look up Charles Lester. To be honest, I know nothing about him other than what I saw on his Twitter. Five-star athlete, looks like he's mainly a cornerback, plays some wide receiver as well, a little bit of quarterback, and man, this is another Florida guy who's being recruited by Florida State. Would you imagine that? From Sarasota, Florida, which is a really cool area of Florida. I've been to Sarasota before. Class of 2024. Again, like Aaron Butler, he's a taller guy if you're looking or profiling him as a corner. 6'1", 171 pounds, and wow, number 3 cornerback ranked in the nation. That's a big deal. So we'll see, what's going on. But he's got other places interested in him, such as Florida State and Georgia. That is extremely exciting. Again, like what we talked about yesterday with Aaron Butler committing here. That's going to set off a lot of other exciting recruitment news for the class of 24. All right. Now I want to get into some things about what's going to make this, or what's going to make Colorado so unique in terms of recruiting. And I think I'm also going to talk about just some things that if players or potential recruits are watching this, or if y'all are talking to potential recruits, what some things for them to consider that they don't know. Because again, a lot of the stuff in the media is like the weather sucks here, which I think is hilarious because the weather is way worse in places like Ohio and Michigan and Wisconsin. I think it's hilarious. Dawson, what's up, man? I'm starting to like your channel. Hey, I appreciate that. Again, I don't do a lot of production. I just want to give you my straight thoughts. Bro, you're looking real buffed. Man, that's funny. But I do try and work out fairly regularly. But here's the thing. A lot of these players are coming from the deep south. You got to deal with mosquitoes. You got to deal with bugs. You got to deal with cockroaches. Those things suck. You don't want to be outside after the sun is setting or when it's beginning to setting because the bugs are going to eat you alive, okay? That's just the reality of it. People don't realize in Colorado, you do not have mosquitoes. You do not have bugs. So you can go camping. You can be outside all day and night. There's so many things to do, and you don't ever have to worry about bug spray. You don't have to worry about getting bit every time you're outside at night. I think that has to do a lot with the lack of humidity here, so you can be outside all day and it feels great. But yeah, no bugs. Since I have moved here, someone could correct me. I mean, I've lived in some pretty old apartments, and I haven't seen one cockroach here. I just haven't. Maybe that has to do or deal with the soil and stuff like that. But, and of course, they're probably going to, most of these players, they're going to be staying in like real nice areas or like, real nice apartments in the Boulder area. But you're not going to have to deal with any of those bugs. Now let's talk about just the full college experience. Of course, Colorado is a huge school. I think undergrad it's between 30 and 40,000 students, they're on campus. So there's always going to be stuff going on like you would see at every major school. But also, you're in Boulder, you're 30 minutes away from skiing and snowboarding in Eldora. Now that's more in the off season, and like once you get a snowboarder or whatever, it becomes like, pretty cheap. And especially as a student, because there's two main ski passes that get you into the different ski resorts and slopes. There's the Epic Pass and the Icon Pass. For regular adults like myself, it's pretty expensive. That's why I don't ski or snowboard. But if you're a student, you can get that pass for like, I think it's just a couple $100 or so. And so you're gonna be able to just have a lot of fun in the off season, down periods. I mean, you saw Shador getting up to Vail. It's not too far away, but these students will also have the flexibility at certain points with their college schedule to where they can get up there in the weekday. They can get up there after classes, stuff like that, and they're going to be able to enjoy it and have a lot of fun. Let me just stop right there and chime in on your comments. Dawson says, what's going to help your channel grow is if you keep being consistent, and sometimes may one or second a week open up your stream and allow other Bus fans to speak with you and talk football. Yes. Okay. So I was actually thinking about that this afternoon, which I think could be a lot of fun. So I gotta do a little bit of research on it, but I like that idea. I like that we're thinking the same way. Let's see, Jason Moody, good stuff, David. Keep up the great work. I appreciate it so much. I'm gonna get into two more things about living here in Colorado that you don't realize are in Boulder. Again, driving between Boulder and Denver, depending on traffic, it can be like 35 to 40 minutes. If you're going from like campus to downtown Denver, which is like where you want to hang out. Technically, I live just a couple minutes outside of Denver proper, but it's like the Denver metro area. I'm 15 minutes from campus. But you're going to get a bus pass, and that's going to be able to take you for free everywhere. You're going to be able to take the bus at all times down to downtown Denver, so you don't have to worry driving if you're going to go out, drinking or anything like that. Everything is just right there downtown. The bars, the clubs, the Nugget Stadium's right there for games. The Rocky Stadium's right down there. Union Station. You can hop on a light rail, go to the airport. There's a bus directly from Boulder that will take you all the way out to DIA. So transportation, communication, or transportation, you don't have to worry about having a vehicle. If you don't have one, that's not a big deal. The other thing, we've talked about this before. The Broncos. Their headquarters are, depending on traffic, about 45 minutes to an hour away. Their scouts are going to be here all the time now that we're bringing in big-time talent. And this is what I was trying to say yesterday with how CU is putting together this team and the styles in which they're going to play in. They're going to be rotating guys out a lot on both offense and defense. And it's going to give a lot of people the opportunity to produce and show out and put themselves on tape where NFL teams are going to take notice. And again, I know it's kind of a one-off situation, but you have had other stacked teams such as USC get their backups drafted into the NFL. Why wouldn't this be any different as we're continuing to build the depth and continue to raise the floor of talent as the years go on? Because we know that this is just the beginning of everything. Also, why would you want to come to Colorado? The exposure. Let's talk about that. People are forgetting the Amazon Prime documentary is coming back. You want to get yourself out there. You want to get people to know you, to share yourself, grow your personal brand. I mean, this is the place to do it. You have all of these different media channels and companies covering the Buffs that are all kind of associated with Prime. And then you also have Amazon Prime doing this documentary. And with how this community and fandom is, what's up? Nope, 10-2, I love that. With how this community is, I mean, we eat up all the content. So one thing that I want to point out for y'all to go check out, I've mentioned him before, Heritage Sports. He's part of the Black News Network YouTube channel. That's BLK News Network. And he did this whole video a couple months back about the media company model that Prime is building. Really cool stuff. But want to hit on this real quick. I mean, even if you're not having like Bucky or somebody, edit your own videos. I'm talking to potential recruits or players right now that are thinking about coming to see you. There's going to be a hunger for us to just want to engage with you. So my encouragement is like, if just get on YouTube. And this is another thing. I'm getting on a tangent here, but why is it with so many of these players or recruits I watch? Again, I just got a different style, but it's like everything has to be a production. Everything, it has to be a vlog, which again, I think it's cool. Or showing some of this uncut footage, like it's cool, but it's still kind of produced, And then it's like every time, whether I'm following like a recruit on Instagram or following some of the players on Instagram, it's like I love that they go live, but then when they go live, it's like it's always like this, and they're kind of like doing something else, and then they might come back in here and say, hey, what's going on, and read all the comments, and they're just up here like this talking, I would just love to see some of the players engage with us like this, just get on live, answer some of the questions. You don't have to be perfect about it, and they don't even stay long. Yeah, you're right, Lean German. If don't worry about being perfect. Like, just get yourself out there. Alton McCaskill, like I said today, he's got great camera presence. That's like one thing I've really noticed. He's comfortable in front of the camera. Like he might be like a little soft spoken, I guess, like with his voice. Like he's not out there like I am, but I think he's got a good personality, good charisma, and the more he's in front of the camera, like the better he's gonna get at this. And I would just love to see that with more players coming on here. Like this is a big potential for them to earn money. And I mean, now that I'm a YouTube partner, I mean, I earn a little bit of money from this, but I mean, I can't imagine like a real athlete with like, that people like, actually want to like follow to a T and all this stuff. Like they're going to be able to do like 100 times, 1,000 times what I'm doing. Let's see. Lean German. I have been watching his rehab vlogs. Yeah, they've been really cool. Green Creole, they definitely need guidance. Yeah, hopefully as they just see what more that this whole Colorado community is about, they'll want to engage with us in this way. Now, another thing that I did want to talk about, again, is just there still is the opportunity for playing time with certain positions, most notably tight end. I really feel like we have 3 tight ends that have stayed, that haven't transferred out. But there is opportunity for not just like a guy like Gilbreth, although he's the only offer I think that we've sent out for tight ends right now in the transfer portal. But there still is opportunity to start. And what I like about this whole thing, again, I mentioned this yesterday, guys are coming in here. All of them are expecting to show out, and that they're going to be the ones to put in the work to, to be those starters, to be those main guys, to be those top dogs. I think it's so unique. It's none of them are scared of competition, and that's something that's going to raise the floor of this whole team and make it better. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Frank White, Pac-12 championship this year with 8 wins, national championship in year 2 with no USC and UCLA. Man, I would love that. I really do feel like, man, I don't know if 8 wins gets you in the Pac-12 championship this year. I don't know. I know that USC's defense has been awful. I was kind of surprised that they kept their defensive coordinator, but Caleb Williams has another year. Just like we're saying about Shador, if he stays a second year in 24, that's going to be the Heisman year. He is already coming off a Heisman year, and USC is going to be challenging to beat. I think it's going to be competitive, but again, they are no slouch, and that's going to be tough. But I think USC is definitely the favorite to win the conference. Utah fans might not like to hear that, But I think between CU, UCLA, UCLA's got a freshman quarterback, USC, Washington, Oregon, it's going to take more than 8 wins to get yourself to the Pac-12 title this year. But I think, man, college football playoff totally on the table for 24. I'm also pissed that USC and UCLA are leaving for the Big Ten, but it is what it is. Let's see here. Yeah, Coach Prime. Nah, he's our friendly bridge troll. He's been here from day one. Got more scrubs coming to Colorado. Yeah. Well, we'll have a chance to prove them all wrong, and everybody's going to be watching the show, whether they're rooting for it to fail or rooting for it, to be successful. I think that's awesome. The other thing that I did want to hit on here real quick, this is like my last thing in terms of what makes Colorado so unique. Let's talk about the fit with Coach Prime and the university, okay? Let's talk about that, because some people talk about Coach Prime eventually going to the NFL to coach. One, I don't know, he just doesn't seem like that kind of type of guy, because I think he's built to be like a legendary head coach, like these guys. Again, Nick Saban is the easiest for me to compare it to, of like how I see how it could work out if he stays here, or without the scandal, but Joe Pa at Penn State, where personalities like Coach Prime or bigger than life coaches, they're like the CEOs of these institutions and programs to an extent. And what was so cool about him coming to Colorado here was that we're fine with his brand being bigger than CU, and the administration's cool with that. And Rick George is cool with that, which I think is pretty unique. And some people saying, well, if Auburn had offered, or if Florida State had offered, or if these SEC schools, they're going to come and offer him after this first year, they'll find the $10 million buyout money, all of that. But I think I'm not necessarily sure that some of these institutions, these SEC institutions, for instance, that have deep, they have history in the South. That's where they're located. Are they okay with somebody like Deion Sanders being the face of their university? As sad as that is to say, I think some of those schools and the people who donate and give their money and and are boosters for some of those programs, I mean, they're letting all that get in the way of someone who's special and elite. And I think out here, I don't think Coach Prime needs to worry about that. We're pretty much okay with him having his own media teams with their own offices in the building. I don't think any other schools would be doing that, or many other schools would be doing that. We're okay with him selling his own Prime branded gear. Again, could you see Auburn ever doing that, or Alabama after Nick Saban retires? I couldn't. I think that this is a perfect place for him, because we give him the freedom to be creative, to be himself. And again, it's not like the area of Colorado doesn't have things to work on and grow, but people don't realize, like, Coach Prime is he's our third straight black head coach. And he mentioned how that was a really big deal when starting to consider Colorado, because again, Rick George does not discriminate. He wants to find the best person for the job, and I think that's a huge deal. All right. Jalen Sammy to Mel Tucker, MSU. Well, good for him, man. That's going to be great to see. Legend. Let's go. How are you doing, man? Congrats to Sammy. Let's see, David, if you were Shador and you graded out as a top 3 pick, would you stay or go to the NFL? Man, that's hard for me to say. I think that, again, this is just my theory. And it's how the Sanders family thinks. Like, top 3, it's not good enough. I think that Shador wants to be that number 1 pick. And I don't think he would want to cut short time here with, like, the whole family, I think that's a really special thing. Shouldn't cut it short, especially when you have the ability, like, you're already making millions of dollars right now in NIL and endorsements, And I think that there could be a Heisman on the table, over these next couple years. Let's see. Legend. You're right. All eyes will be on CU, hate us or love us. Man, I'm like way behind in this chat. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's see. Frank White. I see Mississippi State as a dark horse SEC candidate to land prime. Wow, that's great because they had a. Wow, why am I blanking on his name right now? The coach from Texas Tech, the coach from Washington State. Why am I blanking on his name right now? Y'all help me out here. But he was kind of a cult of personality guy too. Could rub the media the wrong way. Could probably upset some boosters in some ways, and they were fine with him going in there. And he was really building something there at Mississippi State. Come on, like the father of like the air raid offense. Why am I forgetting his name? Yes, Mike Leach. Thank you, Darren Jennings. That's a great point. Maybe they get involved. But all that to say, I think that there's more potential here for him to be here longer than like 3 years, like what some people are saying and what people think. Again, we had a $250,000 donation today to the Buff Club that was announced on social media. And I mean, just imagine what isn't being announced on social media, And the investment to this program, it's coming in again. I mean, Boulder has a big alumni base. Like, people don't realize that. We have a lot of people that are in aerospace, that are in engineering, that are in healthcare, like that are in law. Like, it's a great business school too, and so there's plenty of alumni to pull from to bring this program back where it needs to be. Let's see. Brett Bartolone played for Mike Leach. Wow. Okay. And Darren Jennings, you're bringing up another point that has been on my mind too regarding Brett Bartolone. I'm wondering, depending on how the offense goes this year. I mean, schools are already trying to poach Sean Lewis this year for other offensive coordinator positions, such as Notre Dame. But I mean, he really could be one and done from an offensive coordinator perspective. And I wonder if Brett Bartolone would be kind of that next man up to be reinserted as Shador's offensive coordinator. But I think one other thing that's like super unique with Prime is that compared to like other coaching staffs or like even with the Broncos at certain points, it's like you get worried about assistants getting poached and then being able to fill them again with quality coaches. I don't think we're ever going to have to worry about that with Coach Prime because his network is so wide. Let's see, Frank White. Did you guys notice Jimmy Horn went from a Ford Edge to a Ford Bronco NIL, baby? I love seeing some of the notable transfers and new buffs here getting NIL deals with the car dealerships. I think that is just some of the coolest the coolest things. And by the way, like, you're gonna love taking those trucks and SUVs like up through the mountains. There's people don't realize this. Again, like, there's great hiking that you can get in Boulder, but if you drive 15-20 minutes up 36 into the Lions area, you can hike Rabbit Mountain, which will give you like a beautiful view of the whole Continental Divide. Like, and it's just so close by. Like, you're gonna be able to come here, not worry about any of the distractions that are from home. You're not going to get bit by bugs, and you're going to be able to come in here, lock in, focus on your career, focus on football, and then you got all the amenities that the city of Denver has to offer, just a close drive away, and then you got all the nature to enjoy as well. And it's a really cool place to just enjoy your life in like a well-rounded way. It's why people are so happy out here. I think it's like really hard to be upset living here because yes, it is expensive to live out here. It's like a top 10 most expensive metro now in the US. It wasn't when I moved here, but people are happy living here. And sometimes I guess there's a little price to pay for that. Let's see here. Let's see, Green Creole. Hell, got me looking at that F650, I love that. Um, Paul Neal, what's up? Don't forget geocaching. Yeah, you can do that too. Lead German, I heard some say Xavier Weaver and Shador are working out together. Anyone else hear that? No, but if anybody else has, chime in. Let's see. Oh, what about mountain lions, big cats? Yeah, green Creole. That's something that you do have to worry about, honestly, out here. There are cub bears. You'll see this if you follow like the Barstool Colorado Instagram or Twitter account. There are bears that get on campus like every now and then. Just let them go through the trash. Animal control will take care of it. Get them back to where they need to be. But since I've moved here, I haven't had or seen anybody dying in Boulder from a bear attack or mountain lion attack. There are areas, if you go to some more remote areas in the mountains, where if you stay at an Airbnb, they'll supply you with bear spray or like a horn, because if you live in a heavily or staying in a heavily bear infested area, you're going to have to blow that horn like about every mile that you hike just for safety. But they're scared of loud noises, and usually when they hear that, they won't mess with you. But mountain lions, I mean, they are there every now and then. There have been some stories about people, having to stab or kill a mountain lion when it's attacked them. I always suggest hiking with a pocket knife, at least just in case something unexpected happens. That's what I try and do. Like I bring a knife that I can take care of business if I need to. Gearhead, the prairie dogs are what you need to keep an eye out for. They spit poison and go for the neck with their claws. Yes, there is an open space that I live right by here in my neighborhood where my apartment's at, and there are prairie dogs everywhere. They're like these little squirrel munchkin looking things. They're super cute, but yes, they have rabies. They are poisonous. They will kill you. So do not touch them. Do not feed them. It's just kind of a good thing to keep in mind whenever you're interacting with any nature. Just don't feed the animals. They're living here just fine. There's plenty of greenery. There's not a shortage of water. Everything is fine out here. So that was a big tangent. I'm going to go here for a few more minutes. Does anybody else have any questions, things they want to say? I'm trying to think of some other things that might differentiate Colorado from the rest of the country. And NCAA football game is coming back next year. I'm not a gamer, but maybe I might have to get a gaming system for that, because that would be very cool to play with CU, and hopefully they update that whole gaming engine from Madden. I'm not really a big gamer, but that's kind of the reason I did stop gaming, was because I just got sick of playing Madden, and it wasn't fun. Okay, well, I think that just about takes care of it. Again, if any of these recruits are listening, or potential players, content does not have to be perfect. It doesn't need to be produced. Get on here and just share your thoughts. Interact with the fellas. Y'all are crazy. Y'all stop fighting right now. We're talking David Talks Buffs. But I'm going to let y'all go. I'm overdue. I'm going to start dinner. I'm going to throw some steaks on the cast iron tonight, and we'll see how that goes. So, but before I go, E for Eddie. Eddie got game. Coach Prime was on that EA Sports shoot. That's a good point. That happened a while ago, too. And this is, you guys are bringing up something that I think is funny. I guess during the season when I do lives, there's probably going to be a bunch of trolls. I guess I need to start figuring out how I can assign some of y'all moderation stuff, and we'll figure all that out. So y'all stay great. It was great interacting with y'all tonight again, and I'll be back later this week. Ooh, Green Creole. Any thoughts on the UTSA guy? I know that he's put up a heck of a lot of yards. I think 1,300 yards last year. I know UTSA's got a great football program. People don't realize that they just started up maybe 4 or 5 years ago, 5, 6 years ago. And now here they are joining the American Conference, probably that best G5 conference in my opinion. So he would be another big body, and I think that would be great. Yeah, good luck to thank you, Sports Hub. I appreciate that. Frank White, Victor Venn to Liberty. I love to see that. Again, I'll be cheering for these guys wherever they end up. I know that DNVR's talked about this a little bit too. Just once all the transfer stuff is done, we'll kind of compare before where the roster was at and where it's at now. Man, all these people just have all these media heads just have no idea like what's going on with this problem. Nah, Coach Prime. We can't block you, but you got to be nice. You can troll me, but you can't troll my friends. So I'm finally gonna go now. I'm hungry. Hope y'all enjoy the Lakers or the Celtics and Heat tonight. Lakers Nuggets tomorrow. Y'all have a great night. Peace.